This is weird. I've just logged into the game after the last episode. After doing all of this, and for some reason, it's put me back here. Jump scare, blah, 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 yeah. Why on earth? We got to the next chapter. So why are we all the way back here? That doesn't make any sense. I don't get me wrong. I know where everything is now. So I can go and get the bits and pieces. But in terms of autosaving, it's like how far back has it put us? Clearly we need to do the bit with the photographs again. Well, we need to do the stuff with the symbols again.
Felt like my brain was melting. Those symbols were similar to the ones at the altar. I can feel them vibrating behind my eyes.
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah.
Book. I know that book. Mom was very protective of it.
Right. So yeah, so we've got 4 of the 5 photographs. Where's the 5th one? There. That's really weird. Yeah, you'd think if you got to a new chapter, I'm sure it auto-saved it. Right. Number 1 was that one. Number 2 was that one. Number 3 was that one. Yeah, I noticed in the last episode that the autosaving was slightly off, but not this off.
These symbols, they're similar to the ones on the altar.
Yes. Yes, they are. Can't remember what happens next. So we just take the book and wake up, is it? Meh. Sabotage signal. Right, this is where I wanted to be.
Did I drift off? That dream, it felt so real. The hair on the back of my neck is still standing on end.
Ah, so yeah, there's no autosave symbol here. So it didn't actually save us in between those sections. That's a little bit wonk, in my opinion.
Declan.
Now we've got the checkpoint.
Calm's still down.
I can't remember whether I've done my intro sequence now. Hello, welcome back to Moods of Madness, where the autosaving features, or the checkpointing features in slightly wonk places. We're back in the real, not nightmarish world. And we get to explore, I assume, this section. Right, so it's a different code. I don't know how I managed to get 2 syllables in code. Is it written on here? 7357. Somebody needs to do a better job. Much better job. Door open. Listen. Hey, listen.
Oh, Jesus. No, this is crazy. Who would even write all this?
I'm just looking at the repetition here. Because obviously, if a real human being had written this, every single version of this word, listing, every single version of this word would be ever so slightly different. Because that's how our handwriting works. But there is clearly repetition in terms of that. Tiny, tiny little details. But as somebody who has a lot of experience writing on whiteboards, a power cell. Is that a radio? Or a printer? Do I need to put it in? Scan to connect. Badger? Geological survey vehicle runs on a modular power cell. Best put that in there. It's alive. Right. Let's connect. Start engine test. Do we actually need to start the engine? No, we don't. Not really. We just need to move that. Right, that's the way forward. Probably. So first of all, let's explore this rock. There's the dish. There's one of the moons. Where's the sun? Where's the other moon? Ah, there's the other moon. The moons of madness. Like I've said, although this is published by Funcom, I don't believe it's made by Funcom. It's set in their universe, but I do think it's kind of not so much an indie dev, but a kind of subsidiary or something like that. And it does look like the geometry in certain areas hasn't been given the same amount of attention as the main path. That being said,
I hope to God he's in the habitat.
when we went into the giant clawy butthole thing down there, I did point out that chunk of sandy rock, the sandstone, you know, up close, these textures aren't great. But again, the idea is to take on board the experience as a whole, not to nitpick about every tiny texture detail. It is not an expensive game. Should I have taken the power cell out? I wonder. Oh, I'm actually going the right way.
If it was a dream, then why is my scar still warm?
Ooh. And why am I contemplating this now? Here. As I think I said in the previous episode, the voice actors are doing what they can with what they've been given, but I'm not entirely sure it really sounds like they've been given.
Stack of rocks, fine. This though, Declan is either really bored or somebody. I don't know. Let's just hope he has too much time on his hands.
See, he's saying this aloud. It doesn't sound like it's an inner monologue. It sounds like he's just talking out loud. And don't get me wrong, I sit in front of a camera and talk out loud technically to nobody. And obviously I talk a lot. Which is what my students tell me as well. But normally in everyday life, people don't talk out loud this much. That texture's a bit bad as well. O2. Delicious oxygen. Reach the dish. Dishy. I keep thinking that the motion of moving upstairs is a bit weird, but it's because the head bob that I've turned off for moving around is actually still kind of there when going upstairs. A narrow ledge. What could possibly go wrong here? Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna follow the path. Wow, you have got some upper body strength, mate. That's quite the jump. What's the gravity like on Mars? I assume it's not too dissimilar to our own. I can't say I've ever actually thought about reading up on that. So, at the end of each episode, I must make sure that that checkpoint symbol shows. Otherwise, we're going to have to do a chunk of it again. And whilst it is an entertaining reminder, in a way, of what happened in the last video, more rocks. This is mapping out alignments of stuff. Or maybe they're barriers. As I said before, I'm kind of afraid of turning round too quickly. Because jump scares. Right, that is unlocked, so we can go in there if we need to. 81% oxygen, we're fine. For now. I do kind of get the feeling that there's not going to be a huge amount of stuff off the beaten track. Which is weird. It strikes me as a game that would, and should probably, revel in secrets. Little lore tidbits being hidden all over the place. But I don't get the feeling that that's what they're going for. That looks really high up. Let's go in here first. I'm going to keep the helmet on. Oh, yeah. Airlocks and all that.
Declan, you here? Declan, it's empty. Declan, damn it, where are you?
What? I don't
freak out. Just find out where he is.
I don't understand why there were black trash bags everywhere. So, rubbish bags.
Josie was right. Jesus, I didn't know it was like this. How does he live like this?
Doesn't seem that bad. He's logged in as well. Jacqueline Delapore. Slight fluctuation in array rotation during calibration. Diagnostics for self-clean systems require filter replacement. Slight dip in power. Non-critical systems. Something is wrong with the dish. Circuit box shorted. No prior warning. Just sparks flying mid-transmission. Yeah, there was a sandstorm, but we've never seen a blackout like that. Circuits fried while I'm sitting here. I had to manually reboot the backup generators and servers, which should have automatically engaged. I don't know. Temporarily reroute circuit boxes. Run a biogauge scan. Manually calibrate satellite dish. Where is Shane? I'm here. Backup servers are now primary communication network. Significantly reduced intensity and radius, which is why nobody's getting through to us. We are in charge of repairs. Rostand. I imagine that probably makes sense to somebody who is more communications minded. Note for Shane. Shane, where are you? If you see this, we're headed back to base. We waited, but you were nowhere. I'm with Josie and Lucas, and we're taking the rover back. We lose contact for a second, your rover coordinates disappear, and suddenly the satellite goes nuts. I don't know if it was the freak sandstorm or what. It doesn't matter. Get back to base, contact us, whatever you can do. I just hope you see this. Huh. So they've gone back to base.
Shit, this is bad. I'm sorry, Declan. I didn't know how bad it was. He can't stay alone out here anymore. He needs help.
I think that's supposed to be a moldy plate. Martian toilets. Yeah, clearly this guy has started suffering. Read. Open. Declan, write of your fantastic adventures, Dad. Oop, no, don't want to flip. I want to read. Dad gave this to me. We had this little 12 by 10 by 10 case of personal effects that we could seal up before launch, and I almost left this behind, but it helps to write sometimes. Not sure why lying bothers me so much. My dad, my sister, they still think I'm freezing my ass off for climate studies in Antarctica. I don't know about fantastic adventures, Father Dearest, but last night I dreamed I was on one of those celebrity dance shows and my partner was Katharine Hepburn and we won even though she was obviously dead. But it was great. Then I woke up, wrote down numbers from space for 6 hours and drilled a tiny hole into 17 rocks. All the while a single reinforced pane of glass away from death. It's a real roller coaster here on Mars. Entry 2. Must be the Gallic side of me coming out. I've been building cairns. I used to do a lot of hiking. I get annoyed by the little rock piles people would build along the trails, as if to say, I was here, I have developed fine motor skills, look at me. But the bonus of hiking on Mars is the leave no trace ethos is kind of optional on a completely deserted wasteland. During EVAs I started to just take a moment, grab a few loose pieces and build a cairn. My little zen garden, balancing the rocks. It felt nice. Lately though, I see the rocks moving. I tested my theory, although in the fuck-all most limited unscientific way. I'd make a new stack with the finest Martian rock samples I could find, pristine dusty rocks. And then I'd wait a day. They wouldn't fall over, no. That'd be too simple. One stack would have a single rock swapped. Not an easy rock, like the top piece, but a centerpiece. One centerpiece swapped from this stack to the other. No glove marks, nothing, just two shitty Martian rocks that I swear changed places in the middle of the night. Why am I writing this? Entry 3. When a person is drowning, their throat seizes up, preventing water from entering their lungs, but also air. The reflex is so strong you could be floating there with your mouth well above the water's surface, unable to cough, unable to breathe. You don't drown because you're underwater. Oh, you don't drown because you're underwater. You drown because of yourself. Sticking a needle in the webbing between your toes. It sounds so horrific, like your natural reflexes would kick in. But it's the reverse. The emotions dive, the depression slams you with a singular focus, your mind starts justifying it all, releasing a hint of those chemicals. You're pretty much a tiny little voice trying to control this monstrosity. It's nearly impossible. And so this natural reflex to hurt yourself so terribly and specifically becomes everything. So you drown in it. Jesus Christ, my hand is shaking. I think I'll sleep at base tonight. Gotta get out of here for a bit. Entry 4. I haven't been sleeping well. Understatement. Sometimes I can't tell when I'm awake or dreaming. The numbers keep coming. The messages start to make sense. Spending time at the base doesn't help. It's a hassle trying to come up with reasons why I need a rover ride every day. Just a bit of casual hallucinations everyone, nothing to worry about. If you could pick me up before the flashback started around 6 in the evening, that'd be swell. Maybe I'll build another cairn. Let the witch move the rocks around. Fun pastime. Wish I had a beach chair and a margarita. Might as well enjoy my descent into insanity. Entry 5. I saw the witch today. I'm still shaking. Looked out the window and my sister's standing on the cliffside. My sister! She was stark naked. Out there nothing to Mars, choking, eyes bulging out of her head like a goldfish falling out of the bowl. Nearly killed myself throwing my suit on. I get out there. I run, stumbling around to the barriers. Instead, there's a person with a paleness to her. Deep black hair, and she's facing away, looking out over the endless dunes. When she turns to look at me, it's not my sister. A deep black hole where her face might be. A grey slit curled into a smile. I feel and taste granules of sand pouring into my open mouth, and suddenly I can't breathe. She slowly draws nearer as I slam my fist on my chest, trying to breathe. Tendrils of blackness reach out from that endless void in her skull. I'm sinking into the desert. She's trying to pull me under. And I wake up, gasping for air. I don't lose it like this. I just don't. Fuck this. Yeah. Did I finish making my point about the bin bags? They seem like an odd choice. But I suppose if it works on Earth, it works on Mars. I guess. Right, let's refill the oxygen. Oh, I didn't take the power cell, did I? The thing that I actually need. As far as I'm aware, that takes a lot longer in real life. But I guess... Oh, so we had to do that first because we couldn't have got up the lift anyway. Cheng. Button. Right. So here we go.
Good, Chief.
Don't look down. Don't look up.
Whoa, what is that? Holy shit! No. Oh my god, please just be a meteor. Oh my god.
Was that the Serrano? Great. Nothing around the back. I am wondering how topographically accurate this rendition of Mars is. I wonder if they actually did research into the geography and the maps and where things are. It strikes me that that's probably something that should be done. Although I guess it's not hugely important. So I have to take my helmet off for this bit. Okay. It's one of those days when I can't quite find the level of clothing to wear for warmth. It's one of those dull, misty British mornings. Right. I don't have a power cell. I used it to power the lift to get up here. This place, oh yeah, that's really low res. I assume they kind of expect you to glance at these things and pass by. Power conduit. Clearly missing something. Ah. I have this power cell. Let's turn everything on, I guess.
Ah, burning plastic. Definitely a short in the system.
Delightful. Alright. In case of emergencies, connect to the device to reroute power between the units designed by Nancy Technology. Connect.
I need to find a way to reroute power around the damaged nodes.
Oh, good. So those are the damaged nodes, I'm assuming? I assume we don't want anything touching the edges. Win! Okay, and another one?
This panel distributes power between the dish and the PC terminal, and that busted node means I can only power one of them at a time.
Right, that's really bright and kind of awkward to see. Maraba. Right, which have I just activated? Was it the computer? It was the computer. Ah, shoot. Shane goes missing, lose contact with the Serrano, then the circuit boxes start going haywire. Pull just enough power to turn the dish to Josie and get some sort of signal, then it all just resets. What a beautiful day on Mars. Reminder. Sure, Orochi will find out I'm breaking encryption rules, but I can never remember the constantly changing code schedule. Codename equal Our Glorious Leaders. Chatterbox equals Comray Satellites. Rostand equals Serrano. Marble equals Where Antarctica is. I'm going to write that down. Codename Glorious Leaders. Chatterbox. Satellite. Rostand equals Serrano. Marble. Where Antarctica is. Which I'm assuming is Earth. Angela's Calibration Manual, Section 7. Calibration must be performed manually via biogauge after security authorization via ID badge. Excuse me. Due to the potentially compromising aspects of calibration and outgoing signals, access to calibration routines is limited to engineering staff. After initial calibration is achieved, the Angelus communication array utilizes automated routines to maintain calibration. Note that if the targeted signal cannot be followed, for example due to going under the horizon, the Angelus will need to be manually calibrated when the signal is available. General signal quality should be maintained at or above 85% at all times. Lower signal quality may result in interruption of service. Per Orochi security policies, calibration information may not be stored in any form, encrypted or otherwise. I suspect this is going to be important. So 146.1 for code name. 1278 for marble. Minus 15843 for chatterbox. And minus 5672 for Rostand. That's the wrong button. Okay. I'm assuming that's all we can get off there.
It's getting really bad out there.
Uh-oh.
Pick up the pace, Shane.
So now we need to... bypass that. Connect.
The circuit box is amping up the current. Too much power will fry the system. Too
Oh,
little,
joy.
the dish won't work.
Oh, I don't like these puzzles. I've never liked these puzzles. Probably because I've never been any good at them. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, 9. What's wrong with that? I thought that was the target. Huh? Oh, is 9 too high?
Sandstorm is picking up again. Things just keep getting worse.
Yeah, see, that's only 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh. Yeah, I was forgetting to take into account the 3 that we'd already got. Scan ID card. Calibration required. Connect. Right, so we can change the pitch in your... Are we just trying to get the number up to 100%? $22, $23, $24, $23.
Hello? Nothing ever seems to work right. Commander Wilcox, Dr. Volkova, Dr. Van Buren. Still not working. Come on, someone respond, please.
Yeah, so that's
Nothing.
that's codename frequency. So let's try 43. And minus 158. Right, that's Chatterbox.
All hands on deck situation. The crash landed.
Oh my God. Commander Wilcox, where are you?
Something. Newhart?
Do you copy? There is a creature roaming Trailblazer Alpha. Do not return to base. Repeat, do not.
I can't hear you. You're cutting out. We are at base. We need to investigate the Cyrano crash site.
No. Commander Wilcox! Wilcox!
Back online. Oh, I can't actually check any other signals. That was... I saw something outside the door. So, naturally, I have to go back out there. Yay! Something in the airlock. No. Still hasn't explained why he's got that symbol on the back of his hand. I wonder if his mother put it there.
Come on. Dead. Not even static. But they're alive. Someone is alive.
I bet everybody's alive. Beings from dust. Great. Looks like it's sandstorm time. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm going to try and keep them kind of compartmentalized to, you know, chunks of chapter. So every time a new title thing comes up, that should be the end of the episode, unless they're really short. There's no guarantee of how long these things are going to be. Probably about half an hour. If you take off the faffing around that we had to do at the start because of catching up time-wise. Yeah, so as expected, something terrible has happened to the Serrano. As expected, the people aren't actually dead unless something's interfering with the radio and taking their voices, which is possible. It all depends on how much Shane, our protagonist, has been affected. I think there's kind of the implication that his mother brainwashed him as a kid, and it's all now coming out. That might be a hot take. Who knows? Either way, I'm still intrigued and I'm still quite engrossed in what is going on. Sure, the actual gameplay aspects aren't particularly... What's the word I'm after? They're nothing original. They're nothing revolutionary. The puzzles are fairly straightforward. Nothing that we've not seen before. But it's the atmosphere and the tiny, tiny granules of story that we are following. And some decent writing. You know, it's got, in the little reports and stuff, it's got that slightly flowery, overblown, prosaic style that a lot of cosmic horror is written in. Just finding all the most delicious, exciting, ineffable, esoteric words and bundling them together to make something that sounds bizarre and creepy and unnatural. As I said, and we'll continue to say, and we'll keep on saying, the success of Lovecraft is having to imagine things for yourself rather than seeing things. And so far, we are seeing the results of a lot of trauma, psychologically. And we're not seeing too much of the things causing that. Too much. But we are seeing some. And yeah, I think a conclusion will need to be drawn much later in the game as to how effective this is playing out. Either way, I'm on board for now. We'll see how we get on in the next episode, where we will what was it? People of the Dust? Sounds like fun. I'll catch you next time, folks. Thanks for watching. Ta-ta. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.